Hey everyone, and welcome to my warning guide. So today I want to talk a little bit about warning for top lane. Now, there's one thing that's important to note. You need to know this tricky ward. You go here to the creature or whatever you call it, this thing, and then you click right here, and then it works every time, right? So right at the tree, you click space. The reason you do the space trick is because by doing that, you can always guarantee it hits, and then it's much easier, right? By having the camera at the same place, champion at the same place at this thing, and then you click right there. Very easy to know. Very important to know as well. You need to know this for this trick to work properly. Now, the ward is something you're not going to use that much. And honestly, if you watch a lot of high elo players, they don't use it. Why? Because it's too risky if they mess it up. They don't practice enough, even if they should. And often you don't necessarily need this ward. But it's very, very good in certain situations. And it can save you. A lot of high elo people, even challengers, are dying all the time because they go here and like, oh, I gotta go down a ward. Boom, dead. Now, generally where you want to place the ward though, you gotta think about warning spots. Generally, where you want to place it is about here. Because by placing it here, you get full vision of everything you'd want. You get to see all the way up here, and you get to see down here. You don't need to go to the edge, and you don't want to put it close, because if you put it close, you don't get enough time. It's very important to know your warning places. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't know, a lot of people just putting down a ward, they're like, yes sir, we're safe, this is great. It's not really true. You gotta think about, okay, I have a ward here, I don't have any vision here. Where should I be in the laning phase, right? For example, let's say you have this ward and you're like, I'm gonna push up here and fight on the enemy turret. This ward doesn't do anything. If an enemy is walking here, this path up, you will die anyways. You won't be able to survive in time. And if you're here, if you're fighting here with an enemy and the guy walks here, he gets spotted now, he's gonna be behind you before he can run, and you're also going to die. So that means this spot, you're gonna die on 100% if you only have that ward. Now, let's say we have a ward here as well. Let's say we put one here, right? Just put a ward there. If you're all the way up here, again, close to his turret, he could actually run right here, and he can still potentially catch you. There's a really high chance he will catch you before you get to run all the way back. So this ward is also not enough. And I see a lot of people putting ward here and thinking, you know what, we're safe, everything is great, life's awesome. This push up here, and then they're done. They're like, oh my god, I didn't react in time. But that's not really the problem. The problem is you don't want to be that deep if you have the ward there. Now, another thing that's really important to note. So these are kind of the two basic wards. Generally, you'd put a pink down here. You'd put the pink here. And then you'd put the normal ward up here. Somewhere about the edge here is where I would normally put it. This is a standard warning situation. This is what you will see a lot of the time. This one gets river pressure. And this one gets you protection. And where you want to have the wave is generally about max here. You don't really want to go further than this. A little bit further is okay, you know, but not too deep. Now, this is a good warning situation, but again, it doesn't really protect you. If you're deep and somebody comes from here, you will most likely get caught as well, and you will most likely die. Because you're all the way up here, which means you actually need a ward from your mid laner to be safe. Or you need to put this one deeper. Problem is, they can still come over here, so that's also problematic. In general, what I would suggest is have the ward here. And don't really push any further than this. This is the safest way to do it. Now, let's go a little bit deeper and let's try and analyze and understand what goes on, right? Because wards are OP and wards are awesome. But what's even more important is understanding where is the enemy jungler without putting those wards, right? Because the biggest problem isn't the warding itself. The biggest problem is people don't know where the jungler is. So for example, getting a ward right here. This is one of my favorite spots for warding, right there. It tells you where the enemy jungler is. You have plenty of time to react. And it's very rare that a jungler walks up straight top of this pathing if you're pushing. And even if they do, if they're coming from this pathing and you get caught, then you're against really, really dangerous matchup like a Malphite and Nidalee or something that can catch you. Or it's just generally not going to happen. It's generally not going to work. This ward is wonderful. Another ward that's really, really awesome is the one over here. Put it right at the edge, right there. This one is really, really good as well because it gives you a lot of vision. Most people are going to be spotted here. Potentially, they could walk in here and sneak past it. That could be possible, depending on where you put it. So that's a little bit dangerous, but nobody does that. I don't really see anyone do it, at least. Now, another ward that's really, really good in my eyes is a ward right here. Now, very, very small champions can actually sneak past here. Again, it's very rare that it happens, and people generally don't do it, so you don't have to worry about it. But you should know that it's possible. Very few champions could sneak this pathing if they're very tiny models. I've seen it happen before. Even if it seems like you have full vision all the way up, there's like a small, tiny, dark area, and you can actually sneak past it if you're a tiny champion. Just something to note. This is probably my preferred warding. If I can get these two wards down, I'm extremely happy. And this one would be a pink ward in that case. This one would be a normal ward. Another thing I think is important to note is this another situation I really enjoy having. This is the situation I personally would do if I'm playing somewhat, you know, somewhat safe. And I'm trying to help out my mid lane a little bit. There's a snowbally matchup in the mid lane. Let's say Fizz versus Akali, super snowbally to both sides. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I want to help out my mid lane a little bit. And I want to stay safe myself. If the enemy jungler is not a jumping one, then I'd be putting a ward up here. And if it's a jumping one, then I'd be putting it down here, right? So that's just something to note. If it's a Graves, for example, Graves is just going to go here, he's going to jump over, and then he's going to gank you. This ward is pretty useless in that case, and you want to make sure you're safe, right? In that case, you put it here, but if it's something else, like things that don't jump that much, then I'd be putting it up here. These ones is wards I put if I'm playing aggressive. These ones is if I want to help mid and play somewhat safe. And then the standard one is if I want to play aggressive, but I'm looking for kills. Like if I have these two wards here, that means I'm looking for kills. And that means I want to have the wave about the middle. I actually want to keep the wave around here. If I keep the wave around here, there's a high chance for both of us to die, which is perfect if I have these kind of wards because I have more information than he does. If I have it super deep, then I generally want to be pushing at all times to be pressing his tower. And if I have it here and here, then generally what I want to do is be pushed in, or I want to be sitting in this area. Anyways, guys, that's it for my warning guide. I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.